Welcome to your daily devotional. Today's devotional is from Matthew 5:13, and it says, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men." This is part of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. So picture this. You're at the foot of the hill, part of a big crowd, listening to Jesus, who's on the top. And he's saying, you are the salt of the earth. What does that mean? I think the core of that message, what he's trying to say, is that you are important and that you have a purpose. And let me explain why I think that. There are three crucially important things that salt does. The first thing you probably thought of is it's used to flavor food, right? Salt brings out the flavor already present in food. It accentuates it. And so a trick I learned into making smoothies better is to put a little bit of salt in it. It makes it sweeter, it brings out the flavor, it accentuates those flavors and makes it better. And just as salt does that for food, we do that for the earth. By being who God has made us to be, by obeying His commands, by pursuing righteousness and loving those around us, we are flavoring the earth. We're making it better, enhancing that flavor. The second crucially important thing that salt does is it preserves food. So back during Jesus' time, when He was on the earth, there were no refrigerators, there were no freezers, but there was salt. So you would heavily brine meats, particularly in salt, so it wouldn't spoil. You can see that in like bacon and jerky. So just as salt is used to preserve foods, we are preserving the gospel message. When we are living out the gospel, when we're living out His commands and sharing His testimony, we are preserving that message. The third crucially important thing that salt does, arguably the most important thing of all three, is it keeps us alive. You actually need a certain level of salt in your body to live. It is used for crucial bodily functions. I'm not a doctor, whatever, it's important. But just as salt is vitally important for our body, we are vitally important for the church body. When we give our time, when we give our gifts, when we're present and encouraging our brothers and sisters in Christ, we are bringing vitality, life to the church. And so with those three things in mind, I want to leave you with three parting questions. The first one is, how can you flavor your world? What are you doing? What are you saying to make your sphere of influence a better place? The second question I want to ask is, how can you preserve God's gospel message in yourself? The best way to preach the gospel to someone else is by preaching the gospel to yourself daily. And so what are you doing to facilitate that? Are you reading His word? Are you praying? Are you worshiping? The third question I want to ask is, how can you keep the church alive? How do you bring vitality to the church body? What are you doing? What are you saying to breathe life into your brothers and sisters in Christ? How are you encouraging them? Think about that. Share your answers in the comments below. Definitely come share it with the leaders. We love hearing from you guys. And this will be the only time I say this, but I implore you to go and be salty. Ba, da, da, ba, da, 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 da.